be seeing you.
For you. There was a period in your career where you abandoned them. Did you
That's
not?
right. After, let's see, after the television series,
Right.
which lasted from about 52 to 58,
Right.
I did another television series in 1958 where I let somebody talk me into wearing Brooks Brothers suits, and they even straightened my hair to make it look like it was very office, office employee.
Conservative, middle America.
Very conservative. No candelabra, no glass top, no costumes, and the set looked like a mortuary. And the playing was the same. It didn't affect my playing, but the letters that I got from people, they felt they were cheated, you know?
That's strange.
And I would venture to say it was one of the great failures of my entire career. I was very unhappy. I think the audience was very unhappy, and ABC was very unhappy. So I was thrilled when the series ended, and I went to Europe. I took all the fancy costumes with me, and I started all over again. Picked up the pieces, and I stayed away about 6 months. And when I came back, I created enough excitement in England to carry me back to America.
You were right the first time. There's an old saying, don't improve a hit into a flop, right? You had the thing going, and somebody was going to make it better, right?
Well, I have always believed that a person in show business should do what they do best.
You got it.
And whether people like it or not, what I do best.
Yeah, you sure do. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Thank you, Doc. We're talking with Liberace, Paul Morris here, Theodore Smith. One thing I wanted to mention, Lee, you told me during the break, you went into Radio City recently, and a little bit apprehensive, as a lot of entertainers are, because they keep saying, New York, sophisticated people, and Radio City is what, 8,000?
Or 6,000.
It's a big house.
Yeah.
You went in for how many shows?
14.
And sold out every single seat for every show.
It was just fabulous.
That's
and I
incredible.
want to take this opportunity, because it's been since September,
Right.
that we first mentioned it on your show.
That's right.
And the next day, just mentioning it on your show, they sold 37,000 tickets the next day.
You're
and
joking.
So that helped a lot to sell 84,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my percentage really won't come to that much. No, that's a remarkable record, because that's a big house, and I can see where you'd be a little apprehensive.
Well, they've had some marvelous things in Radio City Music Hall, but on closing day, they gave me a beautiful reception in Rockefeller's private apartment.
Is that right?
And they told me that I had set a 51-year record, the box office in attendance, which
That's
is
incredible.
a great compliment.
That's a great achievement.
And they want me to make it an annual event and do it a whole season every year.
You ought to. You got a lock on it now.
I love it. I just thought it was so much fun. The thing that made it exciting for me, of course, was to use all the facilities that they have.
Right.
All the marvelous
Did you
elevators.
drive on one of your cars this time?
Oh, I used 3 cars, 5 pianos.
Of course, I was tacky.
The costumes, the elevators, the steam curtain, a dry ice, and the clouds, and the storm, and the rain. But you know what really was the magic moment for me in the show as a performer was at the very last 30 minutes of the show, a piano comes up out of the floor, and it's all Austrian rhinestones. The piano is fabulous looking piano. And there's no orchestra, there's just a curtain behind me, and this piano comes up out of the floor, and I sit down and just play whatever the audience wants me to play.
Yeah.
And they joined in, they sang along. It was like I was in somebody's living
It's
room.
got to be a great feeling.
And it was
A very large living room.
room.
Speaking of pianos, now, is this our piano, or did you bring this one?
I brought the lid.
You brought the lid. Otherwise, it's our piano.
Otherwise, it's yours.
Is that a good piano?
Yes, it's a very good. It's an SD10, which is a very fine instrument.
Oh, the SD10
Baldwin.
is my favorite.
Very good.
I would never sit down at anything except an SD10. Would you do something else for us?
I'd love to. Can I just tell you, why don't I, of course I don't have the time, but let me try to recreate those last few moments in the show, and if the audience feels like they want to clap or sing along, that's what happened at Radio City. Shall we try?
This audience may march on you.
didn't want to tell you. You made me love you. Yeah, I didn't want to tell you. You made me love you. And I was happy to do it. Oh, I think you always do it. You make me happy sometimes. Good stuff. We'll be back with Bill Maher in just a moment.
Will my teacher come and help me out here for just a moment, please? Would you come in here, please?
Hi, Phil. How you doing?
A little help, if you please.
All righty.
We're with America's showman Liberace, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you.
After that opening, talk about chutzpah. Lee, you must do something right for us, just to introduce this magnificent instrument. We've, several men and a boy put that up there.
Okay. Thank you.
Now do you know why your mother wanted you to practice? Have we lost this? Really, when you think about it, I think a guitar is a great thing, and if a kid wants to scratch a guitar in a basement, that sure beats doing other things. But I wonder if we haven't lost the old world interest in this kind of elegance, this kind of, what do we want to say here, the mortar that kept families together in the early go.
Well, I think the piano is back in the living room again,
You do?
because people are very conscious of creating their own entertainment. And the young people are, although they like guitars and drums and all that electronic stuff, pianos are a very popular item in a sort of every middle-class home now. It didn't used to be that way. And I've been playing Baldwin pianos for many, many years, but it was so funny when I played Madison Square Garden. Steinway said I was responsible for selling more pianos than they had ever sold before. So we don't care what kind of piano you get, just so you get one.
We can only speculate on how well Baldwin did.
I have an 8-year-old son who's interested in starting the piano. Is that a good age? Is he, are his fingers long enough? Is he coordinated?
Yes, I think it depends on the child and their eagerness to want to play. And they can be younger than that. I started when I was 4. And sometimes...
Excuse me, Lee. We have a picture here. Show them the, this is circa 19... Look at the child of God on the right here.
Uh-oh.
Is this a face?
Only a mother could love.
Now, your sister, look at how, you know, these, now, I'll tell you, you look at these children, they are loved. Look at the bow, will you? She will never be hit by a horse and carriage in that bow. Here's Mama with
George.
George on the right and Lee.